Hey, I'm Jamey from Still My Art Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanisms in the two-player cooperative game Sky Team, which I've only played so far on Board Game Arena. I'll show you over here what it looks like. You can see it on my other screen. There we go. So here is what the board for Sky Team looks like. And so what you're seeing on one side is the captain, or the pilot, and the co-pilot is orange. And so each player will roll some dice behind a screen so the other player doesn't know what they'll have. And you can talk before this point, before you roll the dice, before you know what options you'll have, you can talk about your strategy. The goal being that within a certain number of rounds that you successfully land the plane. And that includes clearing a bunch of other planes out of your way, and getting the landing gear ready, doing some things in a specific order. Other things can happen in any order. Like you can see here, there's some arrows that say you have to do these in a certain order. Some things, these also have to be done in a certain order. Over here, they don't have to be done in a certain order. And this ties into my favorite mechanism in the game, in addition to the limited communication, which is, you can talk openly before you roll the dice. After that, on your turn, you just have to place a die. You can't say, okay, I have a 4. What do you have? This is a key part of what what makes the game tense, in that you are placing a die not knowing exactly what the other player has. In addition to that, I always love that in games and in cooperative games. But I really like the elements of timing and order of operations in this game. A lot of it is here on the map because sometimes, like I said, there are choices. You don't have a choice as to when you get to place the die. You have to go in a certain order. But sometimes you have that freedom. And so you're trying to decide your priorities at different times. When do I place the die here? Because oftentimes placing a die in one place may not be something you need to do right away. It's more of an end game condition that you need to meet, but it does impact things like your axis, like how you're turning at that given time. Let me see if I have an example here. Yeah, so here's you impact the angle of your plane. There's also, yeah, here we go. There's also this timing of these plane cards, or the planes that are in your way, and so you are trying to clear the planes at the exact right time, at the best possible time for you to clear them. And so there's within this limited cooperation framework, there's all of these elements of when is the exact right time for me to do this? When is the best time for me to do this, to optimize these very limited actions you have of placing dice over the course of the game so that they align with what you need at any given time for the angle of the plane, the brakes on the plane, the landing gear, these planes that you need to clear off, and this ticking timer because your altitude is continually dropping round after round. Yeah, I thought this really added up to a really satisfying experience. It's one of those games that I wanted to play right again after I played it, because we played it the first time, we learned it and played it on the fly on Board Game Arena and lost. And then we were like, okay, we get what's happening here. And in fact, I think we lost. We actually were very close to winning, but we lost because in the final round of the game, you don't have to play through the entire round. You can just win or lose instantly based on certain actions that you take. Because there are very specific things that you need to do in that last round. I thought that added that definitely made me want to play again because we were so close, and so we played again and we won that time. So yeah, these elements of order of operations and timing combined with the limited communication in Sky Team are the elements that I really enjoyed the most about the game. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've played the game on the tabletop or on Board Game Arena, or if you have another example you'd like to share of a cooperative game you've played recently with limited communication, where timing and order of operations added to the tension and the potential for cleverness in the game. Thanks.